There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fun episode. We got a fun one for y'all today. If you want to know what it takes to learn to write benefits for small businesses, you're going to want to tune in.
The Insurance Bro Show is a podcast for agents who want to grow their agency and be titans of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the Insurance Bro, James Cias.
All right, all of you insurance pros, let's dive into another fun episode. But before we do, just a quick reminder, please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review. Help other like-minded insurance agents find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in the podcast rankings. I will sincerely appreciate every single one of you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, I would love to have you on and learn from you as well. Go to www.insurancebroshow.com/guest to schedule your time slot. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at Insurance Bro Show. All right, ladies and gents, we're so excited and super honored to bring another incredible guest on the Insurance Bro Show. Our guest today has been in the sales game for the past 5 years and has excelled in every sales position he's held. Over that time, he's maintained distributor accounts, studied life and health benefits during an 18-month internship, learned to evaluate group risks and develop strategies for RFP responses, and perfected his presentation skills with brokers and consultants. All the while, he was working double and triple time, studying for and eventually getting his business economics degree from the University of Arizona. Now our guest has the opportunity to be of service to small and medium-sized businesses by helping them understand and implement group benefits for their employees. And today we get to learn how he's making that happen in his market. Joining us today from IXSolutions out of the greater Chicago area, welcome to the show, Adam Daas. There it is, Adam.
Wonderful.
Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, guys. Fantastic. How are you doing, James?
Doing really well, man. Doing really well. It's a pleasure to have you on. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You graduated with this business economics degree and decided to get into insurance. Was this your first choice?
Yeah, so maybe not the first choice. I think it's always funny when you tell people what you do and you say you consult insurance or you're a consultant for insurance. They think maybe you just write auto and home policies or different stuff like that. But my mother works at Hub International and has had many stops at all the big agencies throughout her years in her career. And it's something that I saw her do for a long time throughout growing up and really realized, and this is something that she always instilled in me, you want to do something that is intellectually stimulating but isn't rocket science. And that's what this group benefit space has been. So very rewarding. So I graduated from the University of Arizona and started in the P&C space. Actually, I was an associate broker working on a broker's team doing excess liability for trucking companies, mainly at a firm called Worldwide Facilities, and realized early on that I wanted to go elsewhere and have a little bit more autonomy and actually be a broker. And then IX actually offered me that type of position. So I've been there ever since, and it's been fantastic.
So you started with P&C, and then you switched over to the group health benefits, group benefits field. What made you make that particular switch? Was there something about group benefits that really turned you on?
You know, to put it to you candidly, James, the group benefits and the P&C in terms of what your role is as a broker, it's very similar. It's all relationships and taking care of your clients, and then the snowball really builds itself. But if you compare what you're selling, I think the P&C is a lot more interesting, to be perfectly honest with you. It might sound a little bit grotesque, but the claims I was looking at on the P&C side, it's like millions of dollars because a trucker smashed into a car and killed a family before it. So that's a lot more interesting, I think, to most people than helping someone answer any question about their disability claim or something along those lines. But that being said, for me, the biggest reason I made the switch is really, like I said, my mother watched her in the employee benefit space wanted to be a broker, and IX really offered me the opportunity to do that a lot earlier.
Nice. Yeah, it does sound like there's a big difference. There's not as much adventure, I guess, in selling selling the group benefits. I mean, when it comes to PNC, there's so many different lines, so many different ways that you can go with it. I'm more on the auto and home side of things. You know, that's kind of my specialty, if you will. So when you're talking about $1 million claims on truckings, I mean, I've seen it. It's one of the reasons why trucking insurance is as expensive as it is. So I get what you're saying there, but you know, it can be kind of boring sometimes too on the auto and home stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So group benefits, you've been doing this for a while. It sounds like your mom kind of had that same career path, and so you kind of saw yourself sliding into that pretty easily. What's your favorite thing about it so far?
Well, definitely a few things. I mean, I think the biggest thing I would say is the residual income.
Oh, okay.
This industry, as well as the financial industry, and maybe a few others, are the only ones I can think of where you build up those residual incomes. So essentially, anytime you write a new case, it's like you're giving yourself a raise. So I think that's a massive thing. But then really what we do every day, I mean, you meet new people every day, you're approaching different types of scenarios every day, and every day is different. And just a relationship-based job with all of the fun stuff that comes with it, like the entertainment. And then really, at the end of the day, all these products, you're really helping people with the employee benefits, and especially with some of these mid to smaller groups that we work with, where maybe they're putting coverage in place for the first time. It's a huge thing to their employees because for multiple reasons. I mean, the group policies are always going to be a little bit less expensive. They're going to have better coverage with greater networks. If it's a guaranteed issue policy, you're making coverage available to those who may not be able to get it on the individual market, and just greater networks. So just you're selling a service, it's consulting, but then you're supplying people with things that really help their lives. They don't always.
That's good. One less thing.
Exactly. So, I mean, they don't always see it that way. Insurance is one of those weird things that some people have to reconcile. It's an expensive product that you buy and hope you never have to use. But when people do come around to that idea, you're really helping them a lot. So I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's two things that you've gone back to a couple of times here. One is the relationship building, and two is helping people. So I don't have really any experience when it comes to group health. I mean, some of the agents on my team have sold it, so I've like seen it come through. I've heard some spiels here and there. But tell me a little bit about the relationships that you're building and the way that you actually see it impacting people's lives.
Sure. So in terms of the relationships, it's obviously going directly to clients, and then our brokerage is a little bit unique in that we work through. So just to back up, our parent company is a general agency. So just for anybody who may be listening, the general agency, the way to think of it is that they're almost a brokerage broker. So I'm a retail broker. We would lean on a GA to help us in certain markets or get certain types of things done, or help with a certain program with a certain carrier, whatever it might be. So we're the retail brokerage arm of Flex, which is our GA. However, we've kind of taken a similar model at IX with how we do our prospecting in terms of one of the buckets. Obviously, one is just going direct to clients, but we've almost become a GA to consultants across all different industries who are working with clients on a day-to-day basis. So they're not retail brokers, but rather than having a retail broker, we work with a financial guy or an entire enterprise of financial people. Maybe P&C brokers or CPAs, whatever it might be. The common denominator is that they're working with businesses on a day-to-day basis. Inevitably, they will find that something they might get asked about is, do you know anyone who can get benefits? Or it's something that they can pivot to. But they partnered with us and built these relationships with us, and we've set it up where anytime they come across a client, they'll actually send that to us and we'll write it on their behalf. So that's a huge part of the relationship building in my space. And then obviously, with all the direct clients, want to write them, take care of them, and then keep them on the books year by year. So like I said, that residual income truly feels like a raise each and every time you can write a new case.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. One of the things that we have to do, you know, when we're building these relationships is to lead with value, right? When we're building relationships, how difficult is it? For me, it's impossible to just walk into a CPA's office and be like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing with all your group benefits? Can you send them to me? Right? That doesn't really work. So what are some tactics that you use? How do you lead with value to get people to send you these leads?
Sure. So typically what we do and what really illuminates it to the enterprise opportunity with broker partners that we bring on is that essentially by bringing us in, they're able to establish an employee benefits division of their firm, consulting division of their firm that we will run on their behalf. So, all of their agents are not actually writing anything. Most of the time, they're just making introductions to me, or we're doing side-by-side meetings where they're going to what they have to and then pivoting to me for the benefits. Well, they're not actually writing anything with the benefits. They have, through working with me, essentially everything that I have at my disposal in terms of the carriers, the market access, our service team, everything we can do with Flex, all of the programs. So that's a big thing. And then we compensate all these guys as well. So we have it broken out into 3 different tiers, and essentially it depends on the level of work that agent from that company would like to share with me. But at the very least, if they want to earn 25% of the commission, all they have to do is make introductions, and we take it and run from there. With it from there. If we're able to write it, we just put the check in the mail for them every month.
Show me the money!
Exactly. That's what it's all about. That's what they want to see. So it's all about.
And I think a big thing too, and what we always try to tell these guys is so you look at a financial person, for example, maybe they're working on the investments and like a Roth IRA or an IRA for that group. If you can really, with one of the groups that they would refer, for example, what we tell them is, hey, look, we can get in there and also consult these groups on their group health or any of the ancillary lines, any of the voluntary benefits. That's going to create a stickier relationship for you. Right. At the end of the day, if you're working with a company, more likely than not, they're providing some form of employee benefits. And more likely than not, if they're doing that, they're working through a broker. Why don't you allow yourself to strengthen your relationship and make money on the employee benefits by working through us and having us become the broker?
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about how this is going to work out for you. What do you see yourself doing for the long term? Like, is this something that you want to continue to do for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Or is this something that you see, as a stepping stone to, maybe doing something on your own? How does this work for you in your overall vision of your life and your business goals?
Yeah. So, I think I've found a home at IX for sure. I wouldn't say in the startup phase, but probably shortly after the startup phase. Flex has been around for 30 plus years, but this retail arm as well, maybe not in its infancy, but it's a little kid, I would say. So That being said, though, the sky's the limit, and I love where I'm at. I love the support we get, and I love the nimbleness of our company, the aggressiveness to be proactive and try and always stay ahead of the market, and just really the relationships we've established with our broker partners and other areas. And I think the sky's the limit, and there's going to be a huge opportunity for massive growth. And it's been a very good first year as well. So really looking forward to that. Definitely going to be staying in the industry, and my goal and where I see myself is doing everything I can to really scale up everything with IX and continue to help it grow.
Nice. So, what's in it for you? Like, what do you want? Where do you see yourself, like, as far as, I don't know, income? What kind of car are you going to drive? Where are you going to live? Like, tell me about your travel plans. Like, what does this all look like for you? And how does working in group benefits actually allow you the kind of lifestyle that you dream of?
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously my goals are extremely high for myself, and won't stop until we can achieve them and arrive at the healthy lifestyle that we're looking for. But early on in my career, it's been very rewarding to me. You can really see the big picture of how really, like I said, the sky's the limit. And in terms of getting there, is that the point you were making?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, what exactly is it? Like, what's your vision?
Like I said, the vision is to obviously help IX grow as much as we can and really build it into a much larger brokerage. Like I said, the foundation's there. can really see the picture. I'm very excited about what is in the future. But in terms of what I'm looking to do and what's the vision, obviously continue to just write as much business as possible, scale it up more and more, and good things will come.
Trying to get to the heart of it, but that's, like, of course we all want to get, more business. We all want to grow. I'm trying to figure out your why. Like, what is it that really drives you? We all want to make money. We all want to, like Hernan's been playing those clips, show me the money. We're doing this for a shitload of money. Of course, we all want to make money, but what's the real reason? Like, what is it that makes you get up in the morning and drive and be there, show up every day, kick ass, take names? Like, what is it that energizes you?
Well, if you're looking for the biggest thing, it's definitely the money. It has to be, and I think most people would be lying if they told you otherwise. But like I said, we have a fantastic team. Love coming into work.
Let me stop you there. It's all about the money for sure. What's the money going to buy you?
The comfortable lifestyle that I've set a goal for myself. So if you're looking for more of the specifics, obviously I live in downtown Chicago right now. I've really enjoyed that, but would like to get to the suburbs eventually in a nice large home, like German engineered cars. I love skiing. I love traveling.
Ooh.
So these are all things that I'm not trying to ever have or be areas that are left to be desired with my lifestyle. So in order to get there, obviously you have to work as hard as I can. And I believe I'm in a role which will allow me to get there. So that's been the drive for me. That's why we get up every single morning. But yeah, like you said, there's many things that drive me. I don't want it to sound that way, but I also don't appreciate when that question is asked and people give you a gajillion reasons other than money, because let's be honest, employee benefits, the product, they help people. They're pretty dry products. There's nothing about the product that is necessarily exciting. What is really the driver is the money, and then what we do every day, the relationship building, working with people, really just consulting, being an educational resource, and coming up with different strategies and ideas that people might not have ever seen before.
For sure.
That's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is.
The product is dry. You're absolutely right. It's not necessarily the sexiest thing, and that's kind of like how people feel about insurance in general. I do this a lot. I compare insurance professionals to real estate professionals. People in the real estate industry, they're all over social media posting all these pictures. They're making insurance sexy and I'm sorry, they're making real estate sexy, and people want to be a part of it. So, when I listen to you and you're like, yeah, I'm doing it for the money. It's yeah, totally. I mean, we're all doing it for the money, but there's got to be something there. So one of the things that you mentioned was like skiing, for example. That means to me taking a bunch of time off so that you can go enjoy yourself for, however long. So how does somebody working group benefits, if I'm starting my career, right, and I want to work, I choose to do group benefits, how can working group benefits help me to achieve my goals of being able to ski for a month in Switzerland?
Sure. So if you look at the time off, and our schedules are really, it's a cyclical sales cycle. So there's obviously business to be had all throughout the year. However, I would say 2/3 of our business, and this is synonymous throughout the industry, not particular to IX, 2/3 of our business is written in the fourth quarter. So this past week and every week from early October and on has been extremely hectic, and that's how it goes. And that's the way it is in this business. But you get everything up and running for 12/1 and 1/1, and then you get paid in 3-month arrears, and you start to see those commission checks come in for 1/1 effective dates in March 1st, and it's very rewarding. But then if you look at the schedules as well in terms of our seasons, we work in this weird industry where we choose to make our busiest time of the year the holidays. But once we get through it, obviously there's business to be had, but the summers, there's a lot of time, a lot of flexibility to go and do stuff.
Nice.
For skiing, for example, I already have a couple of trips planned in February.
Hell yeah.
And then, but just speaking to people who may be interested in the industry and interested in being a consultant or an account executive or whatever it might be, I think it's great. Like I said, the educational piece, coming up with new ideas, being able to show people different things is massive. And then in terms of the compensation, I really think it's a hidden gem. Like I said, a lot of people don't really understand what you mean when you say you sling insurance. But as employee benefits, it paid a lot of money when you can write a lot of groups and large enough groups. So it's very rewarding. And like I said, that residual income, that's the biggest thing. So anytime you can write a case, confident in your ability, confident in your account executive's ability, and your whole team's ability to retain that group, it's truly going to become a raise because the expectation is to write it and keep it for the next 20, 30 years.
Hell yeah, I love that. And one of the things that you mentioned was the confidence that you have in your team. You've got account executives, you've got support staff, you've got retention staff. From what it sounded like that you have all of that available. Tell me a little bit about how that works and how that gets played into the sales cycle and the process. And then I got something else for you after that.
Absolutely. So my job as a broker or a consultant, so obviously I'm the point man and we're working directly with the groups to learn more about their situation, figure out what they're trying to put in place, and then take them to market based on that correspondence, evaluate what's available, and then make plan suggestions and different creative arrangement suggestions. We could dive into the nitty-gritty of that, but it'll get a little bit boring. So my job, really long-winded answer, is to obviously handle the new business, get that business written and have it come in. Once it's written, I would obviously like to stay very involved with all of my clients, but that's typically done where we turn it over to one of our account executives. And from there, the account executive is there to handle the day-to-day servicing of the group, handle any claims disputes, and add or terminate an employee, and questions, concerns, anything at all in terms of the day-to-day servicing once a group is written. That's handled by the account executive. We take a lot of pride in our service team. They're very tenured and very good at what they do, and they're a huge reason why we're able to retain our clients. And then I think another big piece for us in terms of IX and how we work is we take the third arm of our company is a company called Triunfo. So you have IX, you have Flex the GA, and then Triunfo just creates benefit admin software. So a big thing for us is the ease of implementation of the benefits. And we bring a lot of technology solutions to the table that a lot of other brokerages don't. And what we find is that those technology solutions, to a group of any size, but especially in the small to mid-size group range, when you're looking at groups with maybe under 500 employees where they don't necessarily have a dedicated HR team, those groups are oftentimes, instead of having that HR team, they'll have a business owner or a close associate tasked with doing all this stuff in terms of the benefits, and they don't have an educational background in it. So the way we work throughout our sales process, the account executives and the technology solutions we bring to the table are all designed to make putting these benefits in place as easy and as efficient and as seamless as possible for the employer, which we find, especially in the smaller group space, is extremely relevant because in terms of the sale, the rates in the small group space, so under 50 employees, have become almost commoditized in that what you're going to see carrier to carrier, broker to broker is going to be near identical in terms of plan design. So where you win the deals, the creativity in your solutions, and then the service and the technology solutions that you can bring to make it as easy as possible for that business owner. So what's unique to us, I would say those things, and that's really how we work and kind of our value proposition.
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
There you go. It sounds like it's not necessarily something, group benefits isn't necessarily something that I would jump into if I don't have a team. I mean, it sounds like there's, multiple people. If I'm both the salesperson and the account executive trying to handle all the day-to-day servicing and claims and all that stuff, it sounds like I'm just going to run myself ragged. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, when you're trying to sell these groups as well, these are the things that they're looking for. So while you may be a broker, and I'm not saying that there's many people out there who do it by themselves, and I'm sure they do a great job, but when you're working with these groups, especially, it's one thing to be working with individuals and families and writing these comprehensive life policies and different stuff like that. It doesn't even need necessarily. With the employee benefits, you have to have that additional support, and it's expected by the prospects. They need it, because without it, it's just going to be a bang-up job, and the plan's not going to run smoothly, and there's going to be a million issues. And people in general already have a poor perception of insurance, and it's just going to become poor. Yeah. So they're all things that have to be managed and managed well. And that's why we have a great team here at IX, and can't thank them enough for everything that they support me with.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It's not going to work if you're trying to do it on your own, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, it's awesome. Whoops. Keep doing that. It's been awesome getting to know you. It's been awesome to learn a little bit more about the group benefits space. Like I said, I don't have a ton of experience. I've seen some agents sell some through our agency, but you know, one of the big lessons that I've learned from you, or that has been really solidified, is that it's not something that an agent would want to take on alone. So if you're going to get out there, for anybody in our audience that's listening, if you're planning on getting out there and selling group benefits, make sure that you've got a team in place. Tell me a little bit more about IXS. Are you guys available nationwide? Can people sign up with you guys? Are you guys recruiting actively? Tell me a little bit about the company.
Yeah, so we write group business in all 50 states. We have market access in all 50 states. So in terms of what we do when we take a group to market, it really comes down to the geographical circumstances of that group, what they are looking for based on the correspondence of the group, and then which carrier in that geographical area is best suited to provide what they're looking for. As I'm sure you know, as well as the listeners, carriers vary state to state. Some are better than others in certain states. Some cease to exist in certain states. Mm-hmm. Always need to hold that evaluation. And then on the individual and family side, we also write a great deal of business. So we have a whole team of brokers. I'm a consultant who works exclusively with groups. We also have a whole team that works exclusively with individuals and families for the major medical or any of the main suite benefits on an individual or family basis, or Medicare over and under age 65. So obviously have the ability and capacity to support anyone in those areas as well. In terms of recruiting, I know Flex is a large company, always looking for people. IX, we just hired an additional account executive right ahead of the fourth quarter to help me a little bit more. So we're all taken care of there, but these things definitely change. And I know, and I can't stress it enough, we're really looking to scale up, and we have the framework or the blueprint outlined and out in front of us in terms of what we need to do. So there will certainly be an opportunity in the coming years to hire additional people on from both the sales, admin, and then account executive, and all the way around.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to actually contact you to potentially look into getting some group benefits for their company, how can they best do that?
Absolutely. So if you're looking for benefits for your company, go to www.ixshealth.com. There you will see the link to our quote portal, and it just asks for very simple baseline information in terms of your company, what you guys do, contact, what benefits you're looking for, what you might have, and then an easy and intuitive area for you to input the census information. That gets into our portal, and we begin reaching out the next day.
All right. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate you hanging out with us and giving us a little bit of your knowledge and your time.
Yeah, absolutely, James. Really, really appreciate it, guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks. And for everybody else listening, thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. Hope that y'all gained a lot of value from our awesome guests, as we always do. If you are still listening and enjoyed what you hear, please remember to subscribe, rate, and review the show. Would love to have you on and learn from you as well. So if you want to be a guest, go to www.insurancebroshow.com/guest. And don't forget, as always, to follow me on all my social media at Insurance Bro Show. Thank you all again. Thank you, Adam, again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right.
And for everybody else listening at home, that's all we got for y'all today. Thank you all so much. As always, you rock my socks, you have my heart, and you
have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Insurance Bro Show. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you're an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. Look for James on all social media